my name is Sam. As a coffee trainer, I've spent the past 5 years honing in methods to create the best experience for those enjoying the coffee I serve them. Hi, my name is Sam. Hi, my name is Sam. Hi, my name is Sam.
She's the #1 barista in the United States.
I didn't know coffee had so many nuances.
There's over 800 different flavor compounds that are possible and 1 million different roast variations and countless ways to brew it.
Is this gonna win WBC?
No, you are.
She can explain coffee in a way that makes people fall in love with it.
When it comes to taste, like the sour, the sweet, and the bitter, we crave balance.
They are the controllers and the voices that actually change the game.
Now, first, I'd like you to have a taste of the pineapple infusion.
For an interesting complexity.
With my espresso.
The coffee is called umzungu.
This is literally trying to find the best barista in the world.
And time. I fell in love with coffee because of the community that surrounds it. I just love being around people, and we can talk about life or coffee or whatever. It's kind of like my morning yoga. Like, this is relaxing to me to be able to get lost in coffee and perfect it and play around with it. The aroma's nice. Has some florals, some like maraschino cherry. Perfection.
So the first thing Sam ever told me when we met, she said, the way you feel about art is the way I feel about coffee. I giggled in my head because I thought that's impossible. It's just coffee. I didn't drink coffee before I met Sam, and I said, you can make me 1 cup of coffee. And everything changed. Like, I hadn't ever seen her like make coffee at that point. And she taught me to appreciate it for more than just the caffeine pick-me-up. You slow it down and you take a sip and you really search through that sip for an experience that is outside of just, it's coffee. It's like a craft. When you watch Sam work, it's an art form. It's like watching a ballet behind an espresso machine. It's beautiful to watch.
Coffee is a facilitator, bringing people together and creating connection. I got my first job in coffee at 17 as a barista, and that changed everything for me. The baristas that worked there were pouring latte art and talking about numbers with coffee, and I was like, whoa, this is so much more than what it does on the outside as far as bringing people together. There's so much science that goes into this. Like 28% of coffee can be dissolved, and of that 28%, we want 18 to 22%. That's the sweet part of the shot. That's where all the balance comes in. When I'm dialing in my coffee, I'm looking at 3 variables. I'm looking at how much coffee goes in, how much coffee comes out, and the time it takes. If you can control 2 of those variables with a scale, then the time is the only thing that changes. And I can make adjustments to adjust that time.
And now, your 2019 U.S. Barista Champion, Samantha Spillman, Delano's Coffee Roasters, Seattle, Washington.
When Sam won, I completely lost my mind. To know that she has had this dream for years and years, that this is a game changer for her.
Sam Spillman, my wife, is the United States Barista Champion. I felt so happy. I don't know, happy doesn't even encapsulate like what I actually felt. I watched the hard work that went into it. All of those conversations, every late night, every early morning.
It is not possible to win that competition without obsession. You have to be fully obsessed with your process, the product. The more obsessed she's become with the competition circuit and with coffee, the more confident she's been in her own skills.
The rules of competition are insane. You have 15 minutes to give your presentation. You're serving 3 courses of beverages, so 4 espressos, 4 milk beverages, and 4 signature beverages, which are beverages you create that's synergetic with what you're talking about. So you have 4 judges who are scoring just on taste. You have 2 judges who are scoring on how well you make the coffee, making sure not to make too many spills or any sudden movements. Then you have a head judge who's watching everything.
Competing is not for everyone. It's a very special group of people on the barista side of the industry who take that passion that they have behind the coffee bar and can meld that together with their competitive spirit that they have. And that together is where you're gonna see someone like Sam really, really shine.
And that routine that she pulled off in the finals was the best I've ever seen her perform that routine in all the months of practice.
Time.
All right, let's put our hands together for Sam Spillman.
How have you rationalized the fact that you're going to be competing for worlds?
I haven't yet. Such a big transition from competing in USBC where I know all the baristas competing to, okay, now I'm competing against 64 competitors representing their country. My first love for coffee was because of how it brings people together, and this is a moment where it gets to be showcased.
Right before you won, I said, you can accomplish 2 of our life goals, win USBC and send us to Boston. And so you did it both. So thank you.
Go team.
Coffee is unique because of the possibilities it has. There are so many ways that coffee can reveal itself and so many variables that's what keeps it interesting. Coffee is absolutely the balance of art and science. The art of coffee is in developing flavor, the science is in repeating it.
Farmers plant a coffee plant. It takes 5 years before it even produces fruit. Then it's sent to the exporter. The exporter sends it to the importer and then finds a home for it with a roaster.
Roasting is the magic process that unlocks all of the flavor in coffee. The most common coffee misconception for me is that dark roast tastes great. The darker you roast a coffee, the more you're just tasting the carbon that's left over after you've roasted out all the natural oils. Coffee's very delicate in the roaster, especially the really great coffees that have such amazingly volatile flavor characteristics that are very sensitive to heat and temperature and time. And just 2 seconds too long in that roaster, and we've lost all of the things that made that coffee special. This is a process that takes a long time to learn. It's definitely a craft. If you look at the raw product of coffee, it's not a bean like most people say it is. It's actually the pit of a cherry. But inside it is all of this oil, unlocked sugars, all sorts of organic acids that can create amazing flavors.
It's a huge community to get to the consumer who's also a part of that community. They're just consuming what everybody has bled, sweat, and worked to make sure that you had a pleasurable experience.
When we are cupping coffees, I'm looking at the sensual experience altogether. How it plays to my sense of smell, how it plays to my sense of taste, every flavor that it reminds me of.
What do you think? This one I'm getting just more of that dark cocoa.
Yeah, dark cocoa, some dried fruit, date.
We're trying to spray a mist of that coffee across our palate so that we can get every different flavor evenly.
I get like green grape. I get some watermelon.
Sam has an incredible whistle that she makes when she slurps. That slurp is really crucial, again, to limiting variables. So you want it to be the same every time so that you can get a really good reading of the flavor of that coffee.
I remember going into a specialty cafe for the first time and they're like, our espresso is this, and it's tasting like blueberries and apple pie. I was like, how can coffee taste like blueberries or apple pie? Like, that is absolute gibberish. The more I got into coffee, I realized, oh, they're not saying like it's like taking a bite of apple pie. It's more of, this is what it reminds me of. When you taste a cup of coffee and you're really looking at the flavors, it's more of an experience. Number 2, I'm getting like nectarine, peach,
Yeah.
lychee. That's like coming through, which is crazy because that's an ingredient for my signature beverage.
Yeah.
Okay, can I get my time? Hi, my name is Sam. As a coffee trainer, I've spent the past 5 years honing in methods to create the best experience for those enjoying the coffee I serve them.
She's proven to the United States of America that she's the best barista there is, but there's always room for improvement with Sam.
Proper preparation involves patience and persistence.
And there is a whole different level of competition when you are competing against 60 other national champions.
It's being obsessed with knowing your coffee inside and out, and then also knowing how to make your coffee perform the best way.
But as coffee professionals, it is our job to dissect and translate what this means and how it's going to affect the cup.
All of that pressure just ramps up because you know that any mistake that you make is going to make you lose.
You're gonna get flavors of pineapple, tart mango, and pomegranate.
When she pours in her latte art, the leftover milk can't be over a certain amount of ounces.
47% of the scoring though is taste. When I tell the judges you're going to taste this, they better taste that. So in this beverage, you're going to experience flavors of dried strawberry, vanilla ice cream, and malt chocolate.
This coffee is destined for extremely high caliber judges that have very discerning palates.
This is still amazing, but I just have this burning desire to make it the best I can make it. The complex science that went into producing this natural lactic geisha is changing the landscape of processing for our industry.
We're trying to create the pinnacle experience, and we're going to create flavors that are showing and demonstrating an extreme degree of difficulty.
Time.
I love coffee because it's one of the things that sets your day right. It's one of the first things you have.
Coffee is a really interesting ingredient as a food and drink wise.
And it's something that we drink every day, and that makes it even more powerful.
It's just a part of that routine that for me makes my life a little more intentional.
Woo, let's do it.
It's a Paradigm variety. It's a hybrid of T-malt.
If there's another way that makes coffee comfortable and approachable.
And let's toast together. Cheers. Cheers.
Smell this.
Wow.
It smells nice.
Is there like, holy goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Found it.
Hi there, thank you. Thank you. Hi. Perfect. Okay, let's do it. Time. Hi, my name is Sam. As a coffee trainer, I've spent the past 5 years honing in methods to create the best experience for those enjoying the coffee I serve them. Judges, I am so excited to share the coffee that's in these cups with you today over the next 3 courses of beverages. Starting with your espresso, this is what you're going to experience. You're gonna get an aroma of jasmine and raspberry.
That is the first moment where she's fully engaging, sharing with the judges how excited she is to share this coffee.
Proper preparation involves patience and persistence. This specific coffee took a lot of time and persistence to keep trying through failure. Now, as a barista and trainer, I find the same holds true. Dialing in the perfect shot of espresso takes patience and persistence. You're going to get flavors of raspberry, pomegranate, and grapefruit. Enjoy so much. Feeling inspired by La Palma y el Tucán and their success with pushing the limits of fermentation, I wanted to do the same with my milk beverage. So what I've done is freeze distilled my milk in order to isolate the sugars and fats, creating the most incredibly decadent milk I've ever tasted.
The last thing you want to do is speed up and try to rush what you're doing. That's when you make mistakes.
Now this is what we should be doing as coffee professionals. Pushing the limits with the hopes of uncovering new findings that are going to allow us to create the most exceptional experience for those we're serving. Please enjoy.
She was poised and sounded amazing, and I'm just so in love with her. You know, I just seen her out there doing her thing.
When my team and I were standing at the cupping table in Colombia, we told ourselves to taste the coffee as a coffee and to not be influenced by the beautiful, almost magical place surrounding us. However, today, I want to take you to that cupping table in Colombia using my signature beverage.
She slowed way down, and then that's when they popped it on the screen, and she was at like 13:30, which means she had a minute and a half left. I got nervous.
As I gazed at the dense forest and the fog heavy with the smell of orchids and rainwater.
She's never once gone over 15 minutes.
With scent being so closely tied to memory, I've created an orchid aromatic mist to finally take you back to where this cup began.
At that point, the clock's getting away from us.
Someone tell her.
You're going to experience flavors of green apple.
We're all sitting in the stands going, call time.
Watermelon candy.
Every second matters.
And grapefruit. I don't know the future for coffee, but I do know where it began.
It was just tick, tick, tick.
Here with us today, all of this is the beauty and power of this tiny little seed. And judges, thank you so much for this time together.
As she brings that tray off the judges' table and sets it down, and she glances at the clock.
Time.
And I watched her recognize the fact that she had gone over by 47 seconds. And then she looked out into the crowd, and we made eye contact, and we just stared at each other. It was just this moment where we both recognized, oh no. She comes over to me, and she puts her head in my chest and starts sobbing, and she looks me in the eyes, and she says, I'm sorry. And I said, do not be sorry.
All of us competitors will find out the top 16 who will be moving on to the semifinals. Feeling very nervous, kind of have a pit in my stomach right now. My espresso is actually ranked number 2 in scoring, which is the biggest section, but to see that I went over 45 seconds, that's 45 points lost.
Other judges and competitors are saying, hey, it's not the end of the world, it's okay.
I thought I was done immediately, and then people started giving me hope, and the scores, the live scoring gave me hope.
So we're gonna be announcing the semifinalists in no particular order.
First semifinalist, Indonesia, Mikael Jasin.
I want to be ready for the worst case scenario, and if it goes up from there, then that's great.
South Korea, Cho-Chen Chen.
You don't want to be done, you want to keep going.
Representing Germany, Wojciech Bielczak.
You want to end on the best routine that you've done yet.
From Greece, Michaelis Dimitrakopoulos.
And I'm just shaking and just thinking like, man, I really hope she gets through, and I'm praying.
The barista representing Costa Rica, Maria Elena Rivera.
Australia, Matthew Lewin.
I scooted up in my seat because I was gonna jump.
And then semi-finalist, number 16, representing Canada, Cole Road.
What a great group of people. Look at the smiles up there.
Look of the smiles.
I went into this competition knowing that I had a chance to win it. It's a bummer when you put so much work and so much time and passion into something that just, it does mean the world for you. And something like as little as time can set you back. Everything else was exactly how I practiced it. And the coffee was tasting better than it had ever tasted. All of this is the beauty and power of this tiny little seed.
To everybody else around, she's still the United States Barista Champion. She is a champion. And how she handles this moment will define her as a champion.
This is just, it's not just a competition, but it's just a moment. There's so much more here that's happening. I came, I did what I wanted to do, which was serve and share an amazing coffee and share an experience. I feel very proud of myself.
She wants to build and make spaces for people to meet and connect and be known. That's why she does coffee. That's what it's been since the beginning. She wanted to go serve people.
I don't know exactly how Sam is going to shape the coffee industry, but I think she has it in her to have a major impact. I think she can impact so many producers' lives with how she describes the story of coffee, and she can impact billions of consumers' lives with how she describes how to brew a good cup of coffee.
It's just cool to see coffee communicated in different cultures. This world needs coffee. And not just a cup of coffee. This world needs community, and it needs love, and people need to understand their value and that they have a place in this world, and coffee shows people that.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, check out these other videos from USA Today to stay up to date with all the latest news.